Hey, what's up, friends? I'm Darkoburi, the collector. And for this week's video, we've got this mega piece from Marvel Legends by Hasbro. Just like I mentioned for this week's video, we've got this mega piece from Hasbro. It's from Hasbro Toys, and here are some, well, hints about what we're going to get with this piece. The most interesting thing is what it says here. On average, this piece weighs about 7 kilos, and just check out the dimensions it has. Here we can see that it's from Hasbro Toy. Honestly, it's a mega piece, a mega box. And like a lot of you ask me, hey, Darkoburi, how do you get these pieces? It depends on the company and the shipping method they use. And everything else, that's how they arrive to you. Hasbro is impeccable. The pieces arrive without any defects, without any issues, without any dents. I just wanted to show off how the box arrived. I know you want to see which piece it is. You got a little sneak peek, but now, let's take the box out of the box and check out the figure in the unboxing. We finally managed to get the box out of the box, and honestly, it looks spectacular. The design, everything that comes here, honestly, I'm going to leave it here for a few seconds so you can admire each part of the box. Check out this side, where the Sentinel is first, and here we have a scene. I'm not going to tell you the names, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Here we have the name of the X-Men franchise and, of course, Marvel Legends series. These are the figures made by Hasbro and, of course, there's a notice that they're for ages 14 and up. Here we have the name of the production company, and let's turn it around here so you can check it out. All the artwork included on the box is honestly spectacular. On this side we have more Sentinels. Here we have our good friend Wolverine, Capardo for us Spanish speakers, and the whole scene is shown again. Honestly, it all comes together really, really well. Here it has these really, really strange symbols. If you know what they are, leave it in the comments. Here there are still more X-Men, and on this side we have the final part of this whole scene, which, honestly, is amazing. I'm going to leave you some photos so you can check them out. Let's also take a look at the top part, which is always really, really useful. Let's take a quick look to finish seeing everything we have here. And now, here are the photos so we can go straight to the unboxing. And that's it. Now we've emptied the contents of the box, and this is everything that came with our mega piece. The first and most fantastic thing is our Sentinel. Check it out. It came as a single piece, but it has some parts that can be swapped out. Here, let's take a look at this aspect. It came just like this. The hands and the whole body are fully articulated, and it came with all these accessories. First, it comes with 3 sets of heads, one of which is already destroyed. Just check it out, we'll talk more about it in a bit. It also came with this super detailed Mega Sentinel head and here, the Tri-Sentinel head. It also included 2 small Sentinels and this completely destroyed hand, which matches and can be swapped out, plus an alternate face. We'll talk in detail about each of these pieces in a moment, because it also came with these 2 items that obviously come out of our Sentinel's hands. Thank you! And I brought a special guest to help with the detailed review, starting with the size. If you remember here on the Darkoburi channel, we already did the unboxing where we assembled this Venompool figure, which was one of the biggest pieces in this collection. All the others that belonged, like Miles Morales, who was in his Venom form. There's Gwen Stacy, who was also in her Venom form, and Venom himself, who only reached up to here on Venompool. That's the original size of these Marvel Legends figures, check it out. As they get bigger, obviously they're at their correct scale. This Venompool is a little bit bigger, but it doesn't even come close to the Sentinel's heels. This majestic piece is honestly incredible. Just look, they're only as big as its head. And honestly, it's a truly impressive piece. This one, along with the upcoming Galactus figure, honestly, they complement any collection, and I just brought my friend Venom to show him off and to compare him with the Sentinel. And now I'm going to clear out all the space so we can go over this piece in detail, checking out every pose, every part, the articulation, and everything you need to know about your Marvel Legends Sentinel from Hard Rock. The first thing we're going to notice is that I have to hold it very carefully from the bottom. Just check this out. The detailing on the feet, as well as the knees and the upper part of the leg, is flexible. The Sentinels can fly, which is why the feet have that incredible detailing, and like I said, you really have to hold your figure securely. Check this out, because look, the knee moves perfectly. It's a pretty articulated figure, but because of the weight of the figure itself, you have to be careful so that when you do this, your piece doesn't fall. Also remember, just like with the feet, this little detail here can move, and even the foot itself can move too. If you notice, the knee is actually more sensitive than the foot itself. But let's lay the figure down so you can see how you can also position the feet with just this little movement. The figure is fully articulated, and the color is just awesome. This metallic blue that the Sentinels had, coming from the master mold, honestly looks spectacular on them. They really pull off this color. Let's say it's a bit more between red and purple, and everything else is a combination of both. Here we're going to see two really cool little details. This part is surrounded by these arrows that make it look like you could remove the piece. But the truth is, none of the parts of the Sentinel can actually be removed. Except, as you can see, the hand with the extra pieces and the head, so you have to be really careful with that. And as you saw in this little part of the feet, it also has this ornamental detail. It might look like you can move it, but honestly, don't try it. It doesn't turn. It's just there so your piece looks totally awesome. What does move, like I mentioned, is this part over here when you move the feet. This part adjusts slightly. Similarly, the foot only moves so you can put your figure in a better position. Similarly, you should keep in mind that the legs don't open, so don't try to force them. Beyond that, you won't be able to open them. Honestly, the figure is articulated to move forward or backward. And like I said, the knees are pretty flexible, so be very careful and make sure your piece is secure. Everything else, check out what I'm telling you here. On this side, everything you see here, the detailing of this mega robot. Obviously, we have to remember that it was a robot. For what purpose? With the purpose of, first, locating mutants, second, locating mutants. Sometimes they wanted to capture them, and other times they just wanted to wipe them out. So, they have a lot of weapons, a lot of firepower, and they can really take a beating. That's why killing a Sentinel was extremely difficult. But they're one of the main antagonists or villains that actually appear in X-Men. If you look at the ranking of villains, they're ranked pretty high. The Sentinels. In one ranking, they're somewhere between 1 and 50, around that spot. Around 30 to 40, that's about where the Sentinels are. On this side, in the back, just check out the detail it has here on the knees. This is what I was telling you about. It's the part that bends. And that's the maximum your figure is going to bend. On the other side, notice that all the movement happens all the way back here and nothing happens to your piece. All the other details, like I was saying. These things that look like nuts, bolts, or levers, honestly, they're not. And all the detailing is complete. With this part, the gray interior, the tone of the figure, and all the wiring you can see, for example, here in the crotch area. Here, on the back, you can also see all that cabling that's part of the Sentinel. And honestly, it's awesome. I'm going to leave you a short clip so you can see all the leg detailing here on Darko's channel. And now, very carefully. I put the Sentinel in this position so you can see that now, without the weight, the legs can open up and you get a better look at the interior wiring detail. Here, you have to be really careful with this whole part of the legs, and obviously, it only goes up to the stop. Here, what you see on the Sentinel's belt is obviously ornamental, meant to cover everything that's inside the Sentinel. For the Sentinel, it's the inner part that protects all the circuits, which is why it needs this kind of defense. And honestly, the Sentinel can be done. Look, honestly, just take it slow and be patient until you hear that crack. That's when you know you've reached the limit of the opening. Here, the Sentinel is really cool. You can set it up, like, check out this neat section right here. Mutants shouldn't be eternal. We have our Sentinel, and honestly, like I said, every part of the Sentinel moves. What for? To use this mega accessory it has in its hands here. The instructions even say it needs batteries. Why would we need batteries for our Sentinel? Let's close this up to see if the little feet light up, and you're going to press this button right here. Check it out. Look at how the eyes are lighting up. The lights turn on inside here, and let's check out the hands. This ornamental part is what you can insert right here on the side. Let's see which one goes in. This one goes on this side, and with it, sometimes they manage to catch, or not, obviously, the mutants. The X-Men have plenty of adventures with them, and you see them in a lot of the movies, especially. When they're in the training room, that room Professor Charles Xavier made for them so they could train. Many times, the Sentinels show up as one of the top enemies of the X-Men. But now, without further delay, let me stand the Sentinel up again. And we're going to analyze the upper part, the head, and take a detailed look at the hands of this mega hard piece, right here on the Darkoburi channel. And now, let's move on to the hands and the arm. Just check this out. The only part that moves here on the Sentinel is this. the hand also has full movement. And you can move it to bring the hand inward, and you can also move each of the fingers individually. Obviously, even the thumb can be moved as well, and that's pretty much it for this part. I'm going to tell my friends at Hasbro that mine came with this issue. There was some excess glue here that I had to clean off little by little, but I couldn't remove it completely. Other than that, the paint job on the whole piece is exceptional. And check this out, the forearm movement here is absolutely perfect, even the movement allowed by the elbow itself. And the shoulder pad part, when you lift it up, obviously, to raise the arm, it lets you see another inner detail of the Sentinel itself. The colors are going to be the same, so I won't dwell on them too much. It's this metallic blue against this metallic red. And then there are all the little instructions it comes with, like how to slide the piece down. Here, on the back part, this is the key area, because inside here is where you insert the batteries. Honestly, I really struggled, a lot, to get this piece out, because it's not like it has a latch you can just unhook, you just have to use force. But you don't know if you're going to break the piece or not. So I started with the bottom part. And the part that's most tightly attached to the Sentinel is this middle section here. So when you push it out, be really careful, you don't need anything else, just a screwdriver. You insert the batteries and, in the same way, with some pressure, you put this back piece back in. The whole back is basically the same, just let this part show. Now this part is exposed, and everything else is completely covered by the Sentinel itself. The other part, the other hand, is exactly the same, everything it has is identical, and what you can do is move the hand inward. Obviously, when you move it outward, it hits this stop, and the fingers only go as far as this stop. It's important that I tell you this, because I don't want you to end up breaking your piece by trying to force it. Now for some process, some battle, or something that you want to do. From Diorama. To help you keep an eye on the piece, you can also turn on the check one light feature, and when you press it, it changes color. However, if you leave it pressed there, it has another small effect. Our Sentinel checks, as it blinks, it changes colors. But another thing that disappointed me about it is that I expected the hands or the feet to light up. That's why I had put it in a sitting position, so that when I did the magic trick of turning on the Sentinel, you could see, or not see, that it lights up, so you know to expect, or not expect, parts that aren't going to light up. Now let's try out each of the additional Sentinel heads to see if they have the same effect. And now, I'll leave you with the full description of the torso in images and video here on the Darkoburi channel. And now let's move on to the final detailing, and I have to admit, I really struggled to remove this piece. The hand wasn't that hard to remove, but once you put on this other hand piece, it no longer has articulation. Check it out, none of the fingers can move anymore, and this part where the accessory used to go can't be attached anymore either. It's now completely sealed off because of the damage. Similarly, so you don't have to worry about removing your Sentinel's head. What actually lights up is this part right here. That's why I would look inside each of the Sentinels and wonder how they were going to change the eye effect, simply because the effect is actually on this side. This is what turns on and off. So, when you put on any of the heads you have for your Sentinel, you can do it without any problem. And obviously, when you put it on, you just press it in. Check it out, now our Sentinel is completely wrecked. Well, not completely, just the hand and the head. Let's take a look at this awesome detail on the head. Check it out from the top all the way down to the whole face. This face is totally, well, now it really looks like it's been through a battle. They took off the back part of the helmet, and honestly, it looks awesome. Let me put all 4 of the Sentinels' faces here so we can analyze them one by one. I'm going to lay my Sentinel down so it doesn't fall over. And now, shall we go back to you on the Darkoburi channel? And now comes the million-dollar question. Which of the 4 faces is the one that deserves to be here on the Sentinel sculpture? Honestly, for me, this one is the most spectacular. If you have a different opinion, leave it in the comments, or if you agree with me, also leave it in the comments. Honestly, this one seemed more impressive to me, and really, because it looks more imposing. Check this out. First of all, the details it has here in blue, plus these 2 little gray dots, also the gaze and the whole face that comes entirely in this metallic gray. It's absolutely impressive, just look at it. The eyes, what it has right here. What also really impressed me is that the part connecting the head here to the neck also has like circuits. You can see it inside, they added that detail. Even though you can't see it once the head is mounted on the piece, honestly, it turned out totally awesome. And here, no signs of battle, nothing, ready to go. This one, for me, would be the best to go with the Sentinel. This is the first of the 4. You get this one originally so you don't miss out on the detail with these 3 additional ones. But now let's compare these 2. We've already seen the original one that came on this side. We've already checked that it has the detail of the eyes that light up. In this area, you get this whole part of the face. Just normal, with a regular paint job, and in the same way, it has this inner part with the wiring of the circuits. Here on our Sentinel, what changes with this piece? First off, the part here on the skull, on the top of the figure or the Sentinel's head, is already destroyed. Check out all this stuff sticking out, seriously. It really looks like a sheet of metal that's been completely destroyed, and you can see the circuits. Here, they added this extra detail, this circle you can see inside the circuit, and honestly, it's super cool. On the back, it has some dents from the battle, and what I like the most is, check this out, on this side it has. Now, look, this yellow cable and this red cable, which match this piece, they made them exactly the same. They're in the same position, facing the same way, and what changes is that here, the lower part of the helmet has already been broken off. Here you can totally see the loss of color. They changed it to, literally, a metallic color, and everything else inside, they kept the circuits. And one of the ones that's also in perfect condition is this one, the Tri-Sentinel, which actually comes with 3, the regular one we're used to seeing as the Sentinel. Here, let's say it's already a full-on attack Sentinel, and this other one is also silver-colored like this one. Honestly, I'm going to show you all 4 faces in detail here on the Darkoburi channel so you can decide after seeing them. Which one of them deserves to be on the Sentinel? Let's check them out. And since we're already reaching the end of this video, before doing the review, I told you I wasn't going to tell you the names of the characters that came in the box so you could win this cap. The first person to leave a comment on YouTube with the names of everyone who came in the Marvel box. Hasbro Legends here from our Sentinels will get to take this cap all the way home. Leave a comment because it could be yours if your answer is correct. And now, to analyze the 2 pieces we have at the end, we have this Sentinel. Man and woman, honestly, I'd tell Hasbro, if you're going to send me something this lousy, better not send it at all. I know these are additional figures. Check this out, the articulation on this piece is really, really stiff, but this arm, honestly, doesn't even move at all, you can't articulate it whatsoever. They're really, really basic, they have a few points of articulation, but honestly, they're not convincing at all if you want to add them in. Come on, Hasbro, step it up. But honestly, these figures don't really offer much. The Sentinel is just flawless. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it an 11, 12, or even a 20, because honestly, it's super awesome. They really nailed the faces too. Check out the piece swapping. All these details, just so that little things like this can bring the score down a bit. And remember to check out all the social media too. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on TikTok. Obviously, we're also on YouTube and Medium. Go check out each and every one of our social media platforms. Remember to turn on the notification bell. Give it a like, share it, and show it lots of love. And don't forget to visit Darko's website too, where you'll find pieces. We also have mugs, keychains, thermoses, and a ton of collectibles. Even stickers in the book where I share tips to help you start or complete your collection. Check out everything, show us lots and lots of love, and let us know if you like the Sentinel, which honestly is awesome. Super spectacular. I loved it. It's a display piece worthy of the Darkoburi Museum, and also, leave us your comments. If you want us to do the unboxing of another piece, we've got plenty of your recommendations, lots of love, lots of support, and tons of positive comments. And if there's anything we can improve, let us know in the comments too. That's it for now, you know the drill. Darkoburi, peace out. We're out of here.